Welcome to the Upside Down Kingdom.
Hey, Lance, what
Yeah.
you doing?
Brooke gave me the map for treasure.
Oh, wow, that's a cool map, and it led you here?
Yeah.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but I already found what you were looking for.
Okay.
But just so you're aware, the treasure that I was talking about wasn't actually treasure.
Oh.
It's a different kind of treasure from what Jesus was saying.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So this week we're looking at a passage in the Sermon on the Mount
Yep.
that talks about treasure. And we're continuing on in our series, Upside Down Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be looking at Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 through 24.
Yep.
Okay. So, Lance, in this passage, it does talk about treasure. Jesus talks about where we store up our treasure.
Yep.
There's treasure on earth, and then there's treasure in heaven. But what do you think he means when he says treasure? Because he's not talking about the treasure that a pirate finds when they're going on a treasure hunt. What is Jesus talking about when he talks about treasure?
So he's really talking about your heart, your priorities. Yeah, so treasures are more than just physical possessions. It's things we value, we treasure, like our character, our image, our reputation.
Yeah.
So it's more than just physical things, but it's also spiritual and more involved than just something I can hold in my hand.
Right. So when Jesus talks about treasure, it's we're obviously not talking about what a pirate finds at the X marks the spot.
Yeah.
We're talking more about what are the things in our life that really impact us, that really value us, the things that we focus on.
Mm-hmm.
Do we focus on material possessions? Do we focus on our reputation, our status in society?
Yeah.
Do we focus on our looks, right? These things that capture our attention, that capture our time, that capture our focus, right? Yeah, I think so. I think that this idea of what do we treasure, and are we treasuring something here on earth, or are we treasuring something in heaven? Because the scripture talks about that the things that we treasure on earth are temporary.
Yeah.
Right? Moth and rust, or some translations say moth and vermin. These are all things that destroy something else.
Yeah.
Okay? And material possessions can be destroyed.
Yep.
Our looks, I hate to say it, we're getting older.
Yep.
We're looking older every single day.
Yep.
Our reputation can be tainted. Like, all of these things are temporary. But when we talk about there's a reward in heaven, or a treasure in heaven, and there's actually a really cool connection to the last couple passages that we'll look at on Sunday. These are things that are eternal. These are things that never go away. And these are rewards. It's not this like heavenly currency that we can use then to go and buy a cheeseburger in heaven. Like that's not what it is, but it's this reward of being in the presence of God forever, right? And so in this passage, Jesus goes on to talk, he mentions a couple different things, and he says, like, we can't serve two masters, okay? We can't serve two masters. And he uses this idea of money.
Yeah.
Which I don't think money is the only thing that we can serve other than God. So what are some other things in our life that might be a master other than God?
Yeah, I think, and they're not always bad things. We can have good hobbies.
Yeah.
Family, work, serving, even serving the church can be something that we can overemphasize and can actually hurt us in the long run if that's our priority over that relationship with God. So there's a lot of things that are good things that could also be a master or an idol per se. Take us away from our real focus, and that's on God.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I think as we go into this week, one thing I want you to be thinking about is, what is the treasure, or what is maybe the master that drives you?
Yeah.
That causes you to do what you do? Is it God? or is it something else?
Yeah.
What drives us in our life? So I'm looking forward to Sunday.
Me too.
I hope you are as well. Read this passage. It's a great passage. Read a couple translations. That just gives you a deeper understanding. There's actually some difference in translation for this passage depending on what version you pick up. So read it in a couple of translations, get a good picture for it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Sunday.
Sounds good.
See you then.
See you.
in his upside.